and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about something that is really very important in my life, and that is books. Now, I've been a reader since way back, and even before I can remember, my mom used to tell me that I love books, and my favorite book was the book Mittu and the Yellow Mango. So I was interested in parrots and mangoes apparently, and I would ask her to read that book to me again and again. And once I started reading, there was no stopping me. I just took in all the books that I could find. My family were also readers, so we would always go to bookshops, and even till today you will always find all of us reading, whether it is at home or even at a restaurant. We'll always have a book with us and we'll be reading before the food comes. So that's why it makes it really important to me to share with you my love for books and the books that actually made a huge impact on my life. Now, I've always loved the concept of books. There are people in the world who've spent ages and years researching on topics, living a certain way, and then writing it in this 800-900 page book, and we can just glance through the book, read it over the week, and get all their years of knowledge. And that is really amazing to me. Today I want to share with you 4 of the books that have made an impact on my life. Now, by no means these 4 books are my top 4, just because I don't think I can spend the amount of energy and time and mind power that will go into saying, no, this is number 1 and this is number 2. But I have taken 4 books that even till today I know what impact it has had on my life. I wanted to share with you these books today in the hope that you'll pick them up or pick other books like them and just gain as much as you can, because I feel reading is a habit that will only and only add value to your life. It cannot take away from you. Now, the first book that really made me think a lot about life during my teenage years was this one, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers by Sean Covey. Now, I'm sure you've heard the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers. Stephen Covey's son, actually, Sean, took the same 7 habits that were be proactive, begin with the end in mind, sharpen the saw, and so on and so forth, and converted it into a book relevant to teenagers. So I read this book before I read the original book, and I read it actually in my teenage years, not after, not before. It really helped me through the years, because even though I grew up in a household that encouraged me to think about my life and my purpose, and those things were like common talk in our house, this book made me realize that I was not alone in thinking that way, that I was not the only person in the world being taught to think that way, just because I could see the experiences and the stories of other teenagers from all around the world sharing the same things and talking about the same things. Because once you're in school, you kind of don't think about life. You think about your exams, or you think about your social life, or you think about your friends, you think about getting to the next year, getting to the same day. There's so many things that take over your life. So life and what it means and what you're meant to be doing on this earth, all those things are not relevant at that time, or so we think. But this book also made me know that there were teenagers out there thinking the same things. They were thinking about what their mission statement was, what their vision for life was. And I know it's really heavy stuff for a teenager to think about, but I think it's the perfect time, because you're figuring out your life, you're figuring out what you want to do, who you want to be, and that's the time you are molded. And as a child, your parents mold you, but as a teenager, you can mold yourself, because you are reading, you are getting exposed to the world. This book was what made me realize what I wanted to do with my life. So if you're a teenager, I would really recommend that you pick this book up. If you're an adult, pick up the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. These 7 habits are the fundamentals. Any successful person would say the same thing. They might not use the same words, but it's the same. If you're really serious about making your life, which I hope you are, you have to read this book, The 7 Habits. I'll be linking all these books down below, so check them out so that you don't have to go out and search for them. They're really cheap online nowadays, so I don't think money should be an issue for you. And even if it is, I think books are an investment. Now the next book came to me after I had sort of figured out who I was and what my personality was and how I like to behave with people and how I stood in connection with the world around me. I think it came to me around college time or after college, I'm not too sure, but it came a little later in my life. And by that time, I had figured out that I was an introvert. And this book, Quiet by Susan Cain, I'm not sure whether you can see it because it's white on white, so I will link the book down below. But this book, Quiet by Susan Cain, came to my life at that time and it clarified a lot of things. So as I said, that I had figured out I was an introvert and I knew that I needed to be alone sometimes. I knew that I couldn't always be the perfect social person in a group setting. I was better in a one-on-one setting. So these are things I, through trial and error, figured out. But this book clarified so many things. Before I actually picked up this book, I saw Susan Cain's TED Talk on YouTube. So if you haven't seen her TED Talk, I would request you after this video, please watch it. I will link it down below because it is amazing. It is amazing for the content. It is amazing for the way she speaks. I just was amazed by the clarity I got after watching her TED Talk and reading the book, because sometimes certain things are not told to you, and I was not told these things. And so when someone who's researched about it and knows about it from experience shared it to me, then I was really happy. So it talked about how I needed to have my me time to be energized, but I could still be with people. So that kind of made me understand that I needed to schedule time. I knew that in a day when I was going to be completely surrounded by people and I was going to be out and about, the previous night I had to be home. Otherwise the next day I would be so drained out energy wise that people would think that I am so antisocial. I learned how to use my introvertedness as a strength rather than think of it as a weakness, because that's what you see around. You see social extroverted people and you feel that that's ideal and you want to be that, but she said you don't. If you're an introvert, you have to read this book. There are so many books after that that I have come across about introvertedness, but if you want like a complete picture of everything related to introvertedness, this book is it. The next book I'm going to share with you that impacted my life is a little bit of a bigger book, a more lengthier book than the other two that I shared, and that is The Social Animal by David Brooks. I've always really questioned why certain people behave in a certain way, even though they might have grown up in the same setting as someone else. So there are two people from the same family, with the same experiences, with the same nurture, with the same environment, and they turn out completely different. And that's really baffling for me, and it was really baffling for me. And I always wanted to know what makes a person. And this book clarified so many things. Now this book is a non-fiction book, but it follows the lives of two characters, Harold and Erica, as they grow up in whatever environment they grew up in, and how they find success in the end. So both of these characters have lives and it's a story of their life, but there's also a commentary going on behind as to why they are making certain decisions, why they are behaving in a certain way. So it's like breaking down the characters of why they are doing things and who they are, and it was really interesting. It took me a little bit of time to get through this book just because it's big, and also it had a lot of content. And so if you're interested in humans, like what makes a human tick, what makes a human who they are, what builds up a person into who they are at the moment, read this book. It's really interesting, it's really fascinating. It will really open your eyes to see what goes into making a human, because sometimes we don't really understand the whole environment that goes into shaping a human being. And so this is something that will really open your eyes and help you understand people, because sometimes we are really frustrated and confused by why people are behaving in a certain way, and if we understand why they are that way, we can sympathize with them, we can understand them, we can connect with them and then help them. Because I think as humans we need to be understanding of each other. We need to not judge immediately if someone is different from us or thinks differently from us, and that's our tendency, but we need to understand where that person is coming from. And so this book will really help you in that, so please give it a read. The next book that I'll share with you that impacted my life is The Creative Habit by Twyla. Now I know that those in creative fields would be wondering, what's habit? What does it mean by creative habit? Creativity is not a habit. And those who are not in creative fields would be thinking, okay, this is not for me, we can shut the video down now. But wait, because creativity is for everyone. Creativity means thinking out of the box. So in whatever field you are, you need to think out of the box. But this book does actually focus on a creative field, and that is of dancing, just because Twyla is a dancer choreographer who's worked in the industry for ages and ages, and that is one of the reasons why I value this book so much, because it's written by someone who's lived the life, who's lived this. And she is now talking about something that not many creative books talk about, and that is habit forming, routine, and discipline. And I know all of you out there are thinking those are boring words and we do not want to be associated with it. We want to be creative. But let me tell you, it is something that is really important to be creative. As a creative, I know that we talk a lot about being in the zone, going with the flow, inspiration is going to hit us, and those are words and phrases that we creatives use. Inspiration is not going to hit you when you are out and about in town, being with friends, being in the noise of the world. You need to be in a space where you can create. That is why many of the world's artists, writers, filmmakers, screenwriters, directors all have the habit of being in a closed room or going into some lonely hotel and creating. That is because they have set the habit and routine and discipline that they need to actually be in a space where inspiration can hit them. If you're surrounded by noise, you're not going to be able to hear when inspiration hits. You're going to be lost in whatever's happening in that moment. So you need to separate yourself and discipline yourself to be separate and actually create. So this book really changed the way I looked at being a creative. So if you're interested in knowing more about the creative habit, pick up this book. It will help you. It will give you real life examples of what she does. There's more to it than what I just said. There's so much you can gain from this book, so pick it up. It's definitely worth it. Now those were the 4 books that impacted my life, and I really hope that you will pick up either one or all of these books and read them, because they have so much value to add to your life. I'm not exaggerating. From one book you can gain so much, and I would really encourage you to start reading if you haven't. Let me tell you, everybody who is anyone reads, because it adds so much of experience, knowledge, exposure to your life that you probably will not get sitting in a corner of the world. I would really appreciate it if you read them and share down in the comments what it is that you learned from them. Also, if you have read any books that have impacted your life, please share them with me, because I'll be really interested to know what those books are and I want to read them. Now, let's get to the next order of business, and that is the announcement that I wanted to make. Now from the video title, you probably would have guessed what it is, and that is a book club announcement, and the book club is going to be called Read with Rhoda. It's not a typical book club, it's going to be something different, and I didn't know how to explain it, so I called it a book club. But Read with Rhoda is basically when you actually will be reading with me. Every month at the beginning of the month, I'll be sharing with you one book that I haven't read, and we'll be reading it together through the month, and at the end of the month I'll be sharing with you what I've learned from the book, because I like to be positive and I feel every book has something to give me, and I want to increase this habit of reading. I know sometimes it's hard to know what book to pick up. I promise you that every book that I suggest will be worth it, and it would be great if you read it with me. But if you do not have the time, or you do not get through the book, or you just want to hear what the book has to say, you can watch the Read with Rhoda videos at the end of every month about the book and hear what I actually learned. And if you've read the book with me, I hope to generate a discussion in the comment section about what it actually taught you, because I know that one book can teach different things to different people depending on where they're at in their lives or what they're actually searching for. And so this is my hope that we form a community of people who read, because I love reading and I love people who read, and I really want to see you all succeed. And reading is a huge part of that if you don't know that already. So the first read with Rhoda book is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. So this book says creative living beyond fear. And fear is one of the biggest hindrances to life in itself, and more importantly to creative life. So I really wanted to read what this author Elizabeth Gilbert had to say on the topic. Now I will read this book this month of June, and hopefully by the end of the month you have finished it. It's not a big book. I think it is 272 pages. So at the end of the month I have a video up on Big Magic, and let's have a marvelous discussion about the book, because I can't wait. So thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's been a long video and I've been talking to you for ages, but it's gonna be worth it. I think if you take something back from this video, like this video if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to my channel to get updates on weekly videos. I also have a blog which I try to update at least twice a week, so check it out in the description box below. I'm really excited for the new content I'm planning for you guys, so keep watching. Thank you so much once again. See you soon.